AITAH for telling my husband that I don't want to be a single mom of 3 kids? Editor's note: there are a few background posts that help paint a better picture of Op's life, so I have included them as well. Credit to the Baru mods. All posts by u/icy_memory 1247. First background post. The title of this post is, Am I the jerk for calling my mother-in-law a liar? Background: my sister, 33F, and I, 30F, are not close. We always catch up on birthdays, weddings, and similar family events, but we are not friends. This is partially because we are very different, and partially because she doesn't approve of my marriage. My husband is 12 years older than me, and we started dating when I was 18. My husband and his family don't like my sister because she is openly feminist and doesn't care about gender norms in marriage. Now, the problem: we hosted a birthday party for my son a few days ago. I had a headache, so I was upstairs when I heard my mother-in-law and husband arguing inside. He stormed into our room and said that my mother-in-law said my sister called my sister-in-law WHRE, said that she is ugly and fat, and then left. I said that my sister hadn't said that because she would never call another woman those types of derogatory words. My husband said that my mother-in-law was there and heard everything, and I wasn't, to which I said that then my mother-in-law is lying. That would be out of character for my sister to say something like that. He called me a jerk and said that I don't even like my sister and that I get along better with my mother-in-law anyway, so how can I call her a liar? He has been on the phone with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law the whole day, and I have been made out to be this huge jerk. The reason why I said that is that those types of words sound like something that my sister-in-law and mother-in-law would use, not my sister. Later, I talked with my sister, and she said that she was helping put together a swing in the backyard when my sister-in-law said that she is again in men's business, and that she should be helping with food. My sister told her to F off already, took her keys, and left with her husband. But I didn't know that when I said that my mother-in-law lied, so am I the jerk? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Info: so, just to be clear, it seems like you're saying that your mother-in-law did lie from the sound of things? Your sister swore at your sister-in-law, but didn't drop the gendered insults that your sister-in-law and mother-in-law claimed she said? Op's response. Hi. My mother-in-law is now downplaying everything, says that maybe she didn't understand everything since she wasn't that close, and my sister-in-law cried when my sister left, so she wasn't that coherent. My theory is that my mother-in-law didn't actually hear anything and that she believed what my sister-in-law had told her, but I don't know that for sure. Second background post 1 month later. The title of this post is, I am envious of my sister. This is going to be long, I apologize. So, I, 30F, have a sister, let's call her Madison, 33F. We grew up very poor in an unstable family. Father left when I was a baby, mother was abusive, but we had each other and we were both very supportive of one another. We somehow managed to grow up into very different people. I always wanted a husband, a lot of kids, white picket fence, the whole thing, and she was more of an if it happens type. I got married young, 18, and now have 2 kids with my husband. Madison got pregnant with her then boyfriend, who abandoned her while she was pregnant. She kept the pregnancy, and the father is not in the picture, nor is he on the birth certificate. I know she went through hell raising a kid on her own, juggling daycare, jobs, keeping the house clean, cooking, etc. When her son was 6, she met a great guy, and after dating for a year, she got married. That was almost 2 years ago. Now, Madison is openly a feminist, and so is her husband. They both work, both take care of the house, and they go clubbing, both together and separately. Same with vacations. Her husband is raising her son as his own and even wanted to adopt him legally, which my sister refused. My husband is more traditional. I catch myself being resentful of my sister. If she is tired, her husband will make her a coffee and clean their house. Mine says that's my job and won't lift a finger even when I'm sick. When she is sick, she gets homemade soup in bed, medicine, he dotes on her and is very loving. When they are both in the mood, they order food, make pillow fortresses, and watch movies with her son. I'm expected to make all meals, no matter how my day was or how I feel. He takes her son to soccer practice, goes to his games, takes him to movies, ice cream, you name it. So does she, depending on her work schedule. I have to beg my husband to occasionally show up at school for his own children. My husband makes comments about how my sister takes better care of herself than I do. Sometimes he criticizes her for that too, which she does. She goes to the gym, runs in the morning, always has her nails done, and regularly goes to get her hair done. I can't do any of that. Who is going to take care of the kids? House? She can do it because her husband helps her. When Madison had an altercation with my sister-in-law, her husband was immediately on her side. He doesn't care whether she was right or wrong. My husband would probably tell me to stop being a child and apologize. I know my sister doesn't deserve this, but I am starting to hate her. She has been nothing but supportive, except for my marriage. She doesn't like my husband, but even there, she is still civil with him and his family because of me. I just want to cry when I see how different our lives are. I hate that I'm like this. I hate how I feel. I feel like I'm the worst person in the world. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. This is a husband problem. What you could do is tell him in the morning that you will be at the gym when he gets home from work, since he wants you to take better care of yourself. He is a grown man, he can pop something in the microwave. This does, of course, require someone to watch the kids. Would your sister be able to do that occasionally? Op's response. It is a husband problem, I know. Even if I try and find childcare, then he would be angry that I'm not with the kids. Commenter 2. Why are you hating your sister instead of hating your husband? Op's response. I don't know. I feel if I start to dissect my marriage, then a divorce is on the way, and that scares me. Original post 4 months later. The title of this post is the title of this video. Am I the jerk for telling my husband that I don't want to be a single mom of 3 kids? So, my husband, 42M, and I, 31F, have been married for 12 years. We have 2 kids, 8M and 4F. Our marriage is not great. His mother and sister often give unsolicited advice on my parenting, our marriage, and life in general. It has been better in the last few months, since I sat down with my husband, multiple times, we talked, and this time he listened, so they backed off. Not completely, but it is better. In the last few weeks, my husband started mentioning having a 3rd child, which fills me with dread. I love children and have always wanted a big family, but it would be too much. I cook, clean, take care of the kids, and work part-time from home. He doesn't really help with the house, which I am fine with, nor with the kids, which is a problem. I changed all the diapers, woke up at night, took care of fevers, doctor appointments, school, playdates, everything. The mere thought of now going through another pregnancy, then taking care of a baby, makes me want to cry. I know I would have to do it all practically alone, because my husband provides and women have been doing it for centuries. I should pull my weight and not be spoiled. It all culminated last night. After another of his "I take great care of you and the kids and we should have a 3rd" monologues, I snapped. I told him that he really doesn't. That the kids barely know him. When he comes home from work, he doesn't pay attention to them, except to snap at our daughter when she is too loud. He doesn't know anything about our days because he doesn't ask, and I stopped telling him because he wasn't listening anyway. He is not the great father nor husband he likes to preach about, and I have no desire to be a single mom of a 3rd child. 2 are quite enough, thank you. He stared at me, dumbfounded, then called me a C-word, delusional, and ungrateful. Then he stormed out to his mother's house. So, am I the jerk? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Definitely not the jerk. I do wonder why you stay with him, though. I read this a while back, and honestly, the person who wrote it was correct. What was the biggest shock when you became a lone parent after splitting with your partner? My kids were 3, 6, 9, and 40. Once the 40-year-old moved out, my workload lightened so much it was stunning. Sure, there were fewer dishes and laundry and less general crap around the house, but the real workload, the telling him what he needed to be doing, following behind him, and then doing it myself anyway, just vanished. Poof. I didn't have to check to see if he picked up the right kid at the right time. I didn't have to argue over who would stay home with a sick child. I didn't have to remember birthdays and anniversaries on his calendar. All I had to do was everything I had done all along by myself. The biggest change was my mood. I wasn't resentful or angry or making excuses for him anymore. I was just doing what needed to be done without all this extra baggage of trying to teach someone to be an adult or coach a fully grown man into how to take care of things that had to be done to raise a family. The most amazing thing? Every other weekend. I swear to God, I hadn't had 2 days to do whatever I felt like doing. Maybe in my life. Definitely not in 10 years or so. No worries. No listening for crashes or screams. No checking on kids every 10 minutes or cleaning up spilled paint or limping from hidden Legos in the carpet. 2 whole days. The very first weekend he took the kids, he brought them back early Sunday morning, looking stressed. Did I have any idea? I told him I might know what that's like. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for over a decade, I knew exactly what it meant to be responsible for little lives and the things they get into. I yeeted that idea straight into the sun, and he did finally learn how to manage 3 kids for 2 days. I got blissful, guilt-free silence. To have a little slice of life? To do absolutely nothing, if I wanted. There wasn't milk left out on the counter. There weren't muddy footprints up the carpeted stairs. There wasn't a leaky ceiling from a tub filled to the brim for ship wars. For 2 days, every 2 weeks. Best thing ever. Additional info from Op. Hi to everyone. I don't know how to update, so I'm doing it in the comments. For clarification, we dated for 9 months and married when I was 18. I turned 31 a few days ago and can't imagine being attracted to an 18-year-old, let alone marrying one, but I didn't think like that back then. Whatever happens with my marriage, I am not having another child. I won't change my mind when it comes to that. I am on birth control, but I also have no desire to have sex with my husband after how he reacted and treated me. I don't have parents, and I really don't want to go to friends with this. I called my sister, Madison, and told her everything. A lot of things that you guys said in the comments, she has been saying for years. She showed up with food, wine, and her husband. My brother-in-law took my kids to their house for a sleepover, and Madison stayed with me. My husband is still with his parents and hasn't called or texted. My mother-in-law called, but I didn't pick up. I'm too angry and sad to have a conversation with her. Thank you, everyone, for commenting and giving me advice. It really means a lot. I will update when I talk with my husband and when I know how to proceed, and when I figure out how to update. Update 3 days later. Hello to everyone. I wanted to update since a lot of people were worried about me, and a lot has happened. For those who don't want to read a long post, things turned ugly, but I am safe, and I decided to get a divorce since my husband, and I couldn't agree on how a marriage should look. Now for a long update. The morning after I made this post, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law showed up at my house. At this point, there was still no word from my husband, let's call him Ray. It was obvious that they expected me to be alone. My kids were with my brother-in-law at my sister Madison's house, and she was with me. So we all sat down to have a conversation. I know I was being annoying, but I kept repeating that I didn't see the point of that. The conversation should happen between Ray and me. We are grown-ups and married. I didn't see a reason for them to meddle. They took great offense to that. My mother-in-law at one point said that she doesn't understand what happened to me, that I am not the girl her son married anymore. I said of course I'm not. He married a teenager, and I'm now a grown woman. She turned beet red and started screaming at me, to which Madison said she was going to call the police if she didn't calm down. After a few insults, mostly about how I'm abusing her son and what a bad mother I am, they left. Ray showed up a few hours later. Not to ask about our children or to see how I am, but to berate me about how I treated his mother. Again, I think Madison being there changed his plan since he toned it down when she came downstairs. He demanded for her to leave. She refused and said that she was going to go upstairs so we could have a conversation, but she was not going anywhere until I asked her to, which I didn't. He started by basically saying that I am a bad wife, that I don't love him since I don't want more kids, and that I blamed him for it. I shouldn't be speaking with him like that. He is a great father to our kids, etc. I asked, which kids? The kids he hasn't seen in 3 days and didn't ask how or where they are. He then freaked out when I told him they were at my brother-in-law and Madison's house, calling them both vile names that I don't want to repeat. Our conversation lasted an hour, and nothing productive came out of it. We were going in circles. I was scared because he multiple times started grinding his teeth and putting his hands into fists, but he would calm down after a few seconds. I said that if he is not willing to work on our marriage and thinks that he is completely in the right, we should get a divorce. He at first said fine, if that's what I want, I should pack my stuff and leave. I started packing. He ranted about how I'm going to live without him, how he can't wait for me to explain to the kids why they are moving, and similar things. I said that the kids are not moving anywhere. They are staying in the house, and whichever parent stays here is taking care of them. He really couldn't comprehend what I was saying. I am not turning our kids' lives upside down. Divorce is enough of a change, and they are not going anywhere. Then his tone changed. He was willing to hear me out. I swear I thought I was going to pop a blood vessel from rage. I said I don't care anymore. We are getting a divorce. The only questions are about logistics and our kids. To not make this post even longer, this also went in circles. Then he grabbed my shoulders and started shaking me. Madison got involved, they started pushing each other, and I called the police. We managed to push him through the door and locked it. He left before the police came. We gave statements, and I stayed at the house. I am fine, but Madison has a few scratches. Currently, I'm bombarded with texts from his family. Again, not a peep from him. I am filing for divorce. I don't know why I thought that this could end any differently, but I'm also glad that I tried. For people who found my previous posts, I am ashamed of how I was speaking about Madison, but I was envious until I realized that I was projecting my unhappiness with my life onto her. She didn't deserve it. She was, and still is, an amazing sister and an even better person. Thank you all. I got amazing advice and words of encouragement. The internet can also be full of wonderful people, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Second update 6 months later. Hi everyone. It's been a while since I posted, and probably not a lot of people remember my post, but people were messaging me to see if I was okay, so I wanted to update. I am officially divorced as of this morning. We signed the papers a few days ago, but today I got the divorce certificate. So much has happened. I don't think people would believe me if I tried to type it all, so I'm going to do just the most important stuff. In the weeks after I made my post, my ex, Ray, decided that he wanted to work on our marriage, that he would try to be a better husband and win me back. That mostly consisted of him harassing me, calling me constantly from multiple numbers, sending me flowers, chocolates, and candy. I don't even eat sweets, and showing up randomly at places where I regularly go. We live in a small town, around 15,000 people, so it became town gossip. It felt like everyone was talking about me. My ex-mother-in-law tried really hard to paint me as some mentally unstable, nasty person who just one day decided to destroy a family. She attacked me at a child's birthday party when I was dropping off my son, sister-in-law's child's birthday. Then she tried to say bad things about me to my kids. Luckily Ray put a stop to that. She did everything and anything to make me feel like crap, while saying that she would like nothing more than for Ray and me to be back together. I didn't want to keep her from my kids, so I let them spend time with her, my ex-father-in-law, my sister-in-law, and her kids. She took my kids to the park that she knows I think is unsafe. It is unsafe, old and rusty. She also took them to buy shoes. I know this is a weird thing to be angry and hurt about, but I have some childhood trauma and I need to know that their shoes fit right and are not too small. It's not a big thing overall, but she did it intentionally to hurt me. I lost it when I came to pick them up and was told they bought new shoes. Everyone was there: mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, Ray, so I just screamed at everyone. I called my mother-in-law names that I didn't even know I knew, told Ray that he is a spineless, worthless excuse for a man, called my father-in-law a houseplant. It makes more sense in my language. Basically I called him useless, and told my sister-in-law that she is very brave when she gossips but is a doormat to her husband and mother. Luckily, the kids were outside, so they knew we were fighting but didn't hear what was said. Nobody said anything to me. They were shocked. I had to call my sister on my way home because I didn't think I could drive, so I parked and waited. She picked me up, we put the kids to bed, and I just cried. I think I cried for 5 hours straight. I hated who I had become. I was sad or angry all the time. Everyone annoyed me. It was just awful. It did get better. The next time Ray cornered me in a grocery store, I threatened to call the police. And when he kept calling, I actually did. The police told me that they would give him a warning. They told him that the next time he tried to speak to me and it was not directly about the children, he would spend the night in jail and get harassment charges. A police officer also gave me his personal number if I wanted clarification on what can be reported. Again, small place, we went to the same school. I joined a group that my sister started, where we do things in the community. We get together and pick trash from parks, paint fences or benches, get older people to appointments, or get them groceries, things like that. I started cleaning the house of an older lady with cancer who lives alone. She insisted on starting to pay me, and combined with my part-time job and rent, my sister and I inherited a house from our mother that we rent out and split the money. Now I have a decent income. After many awful, exhausting weeks, Ray agreed to divorce me. I agreed not to get alimony if I got to stay in the house with the kids, only child support. I don't want my kids to suffer, but it did make me sad that they didn't seem to miss their father. The school therapist talked with them and they are fine. They accept the divorce as much as they understand, due to their age. We had a lot of conversations about what this means for them, me, and Ray. They are good, well-adjusted children. But it made me feel stupid and incompetent. What was I doing all these years? Doing everything for a man who was such a bad parent that his kids don't even miss him? How dumb am I? I started going outside more, spending more time with people, and it's great. Turns out that no matter how much my mother-in-law tried, it's hard to convince people that I am a bad person since a lot of them have known me since I was a child, and they also know my ex-husband's family. So there's that. Thank you all. I was very confused and very scared when I posted, but I'm so glad that I did. A lot of you helped me and made me see things clearly, and I am forever going to be grateful. /relevant comments. Commenter. I'm so glad for this update. You said the children have seen a therapist, awesome. Can you get therapy for yourself as well, if you haven't? You got married at 18 to a much older man, and from how you talk about yourself at the end of your post, you need support to also heal from this. Please do it for your children. For what it's worth, this internet stranger is so proud of you and your strength. Ops response. Hi, thank you so much. I did think about starting therapy, mostly because of the shoes thing, but life happens and I delayed it many times. I will try in the near future. Commenter 2. From what you have posted about your in-laws, I doubt that you've seen the last of them. Ops response. I left out a lot in this update. Didn't want it to be a novel, but I know for a fact they will not leave me alone anytime soon. If they harass me, I will report it. That is the only thing I can do. Commenter 3. Are you perhaps French, up? I ask that because, as a French person myself, your comment about your father-in-law would make sense. Anyway, I'm so glad to have seen your update. From now on, make a request to only communicate with your ex-husband using an app that records conversations and is provided by the court. Tell him that only discussions regarding the children will be allowed. Ops response. Hi. Not French, but I am European. Glad that it works in multiple languages. Side post 2 months later. The title of this post is, Am I overreacting to seeing my ex-mother-in-law in my dress? Little backstory, I married young and was married for 12 years. My ex-mother-in-law was always very critical of me, nothing I did was right. My ex and I separated 7 months ago, officially divorced 2 months ago, and we have 2 kids. She was a menace the whole time. She never had anything nice to say about my body. First, I was too skinny, then too fat when I was pregnant, then she accused me of having ED because I lost the weight while breastfeeding. Then repeat all that for the second child. She also didn't like my wardrobe. Luckily, that was one of the rare things my ex stopped her from criticizing, and she can take my dresses from my cold, dead hands. Yesterday, I saw her, we live in a small town, we randomly see each other often, in my effing dress. Yes, some of my things stayed in her house, in a closet in my ex's room, from when we used to visit. I didn't ask for them back, but I didn't expect her to wear it. I know I sound petty, but this woman called me immature for wearing these things while I was in my late 20s. She is in her 60s. She never dressed like that before. It's creepy and disturbing. I am so angry. Yes, it is just a dress. Yes, I didn't even ask for my stuff back. No, I don't need it. I don't know how to describe what I feel. I sent my ex a text that basically said, "What the actual F, did your mother lose her mind?" My sister says that it is creepy, but my friend says that it's a dress, I shouldn't care, and that maybe she did it on purpose, so I'm giving her what she wants. I don't see how it could be on purpose, she didn't know that I was going to see her. Am I overreacting? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. You know what? I'd actually send the ex-mother-in-law a text and say, "Hey, I saw you the other day wearing one of my old dresses. I gotta say, you look kinda old and frumpy in it. It's really designed for the younger generation. Have a nice day." Ops response. This is so funny, thank you. I still occasionally exchange texts with my ex, mostly because we have mutual friends, although rarely, so I did text him. But she is blocked, and it would open floodgates, so I can't do this. I needed a laugh.